If you're a senior, there are many events going on this week that may be of interest to you.
Also, as safety becomes an issue for all college campuses, see how UNCG is making it safer for you.
Thanks for joining us here at Spartan News Network. I'm Miriam Whitlock.
And I'm Scott Gustin. What brought together UNCG seniors and the Alumni Association this week? Ice Cream Sundays, of course. Senior Week 2007 began this week with a tasty start at Monday's Ice Cream Social. The Alumni Association welcomed all seniors to the event.
Just ready to be out and finally be able to get a career job and really be able to put into practice what I've been learning in the past 4 years.
For most seniors, graduation brings relief and fulfillment, but for others, graduation
I'm going to miss getting to be here on campus and enjoying myself here, but I think I'm ready to go too.
Each senior received a commemorative mug from the Alumni Association. They also have many things planned this week for the class of 2007.
We're kicking it off here today with the Ice Cream Social. Wednesday, we've got an event at Backstreets where we bring in young professionals from all over the Triad to network with UNCG seniors. And then on Friday, we have a graduates reception right before the ring ceremony.
This is definitely an exciting time around campus, and we congratulate all seniors on their achievements. Spring Fling 2007 is happening right now, and there are a few more days left to check out the special events going on. Thursday the 26th, there will be a free comedy show featuring Vic Henley at 7 o'clock in the EUC. Mr. Henley has been on Comedy Central and David Letterman. Friday night at 8 o'clock, the Group 112 will be in concert. Tickets are only $10 for students and $15 for the public. The concert will be held at the Greensboro Coliseum, and if you don't want to lose your parking space on campus, a free shuttle from campus to the Coliseum will be leaving around 7 o'clock from Sterling Street, which is located between the EUC and Walker Deck. On Saturday at 8 o'clock, there will be a Spring Fling step show at the Greensboro Coliseum Special Events Center. Shuttling will be available, and you can get your tickets at the UNCG box office. The Campus Activities Board hosts and plans Spring Fling. Check out their website for more information.
The final results for UNCG's new provost are still not in, but while we're waiting, our former provost, Dr. Edward U. Pritchard, is packing up his things and reflecting on the many years spent at UNCG's Chief Academic Officer. During his time here, Dr. U. Pritchard has accomplished things such as establishing the university's Teaching and Learning Center and the North Carolina A&T and UNCG Joint Millennial Campus Gateway University Research Park. Meanwhile, the selection committee, headed by Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Dr. Carol Disk, has been piecing together the final decisions as to who will be our next provost. The Assistant Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs and Search Committee member David Vaughn shares his insight on the qualities and characteristics on our next potential provost.
We're looking for a really dynamic leader, an academic leader, a leader of the faculty, and of a certain segment of the university staff that works in the Division of Academic Affairs. We're looking for someone that can inspire us to move to the next level of excellence at UNCG.
Vaughn also says that once the final candidates have been selected, the search committee is asked by the Chancellor to synthesize the comments of the university community regarding the candidates they met. But what were the things that actually stood out to the Assistant Vice Chancellor Vaughn?
They all were good researchers, had a record of research and scholarly publications and so forth. And they, well, I just think they were all very well prepared to take on this role. Now, you know, we've got to sort of sort through these responses of the people who have met these four people here and formulate some kind of response for the Chancellor.
While we're waiting on the results, Dr. U. Pritchard's last day is June 30th. But don't be sad, because he is returning as an instructor in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction in the School of Education.
Greensboro police shut down Green Street and prepared to maintain the peace for an anti-war rally that drew counter-protesters to downtown Greensboro. About 300 people gathered to hear Cindy Sheehan, whose son died in Iraq, speak against the war, and nearly half of that number showed up to support the war. Political activists spoke up for peace and change in policy, while veterans and people with family overseas stood their ground behind barricades. Although veterans were making the most noise in favor of the war, there were also veterans taking their stand against it. Laura Stegerwald, a freshman at UNCG and an activist for the student anti-war group, wanted the protesters to know that both sides do agree on something.
It's just about bringing our troops home, supporting our troops. First of all, first and foremost, we're not anti-troops. We're anti the war. We're anti what the government's doing or not doing.
Police stood between the two groups during the rally and used fencing to separate the opposing groups. No one was arrested during the protest, and other than some name-calling, everybody said what they wanted to say peacefully.
In 2003, Congress passed and President Bush signed into law the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act. Until now, the law has never taken effect because of a pending legal fight. But at last, the Supreme Court has made a decision to uphold the controversial ban. The 5-4 decision written by Justice Anthony Kennedy states the act does not violate a woman's constitutional right to an abortion. However, in dissent, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said the ruling cannot be understood as anything other than an effort to chip away at a right declared again and again by this court. This is the first time the court has banned a specific procedure over how, not whether, to perform an abortion.
When we return, we have an update on the shooting at Virginia Tech.
And see a tribute to the victims that you will never forget. Stay tuned.